Hello to everyone listening. My name's Jasmine and I'm the marketing executive at Each Person. Welcome to Each Person Matters podcast. Today I am joined by our head designer, Fran. Hi, Fran.
Hi, my name, as Jasmine said, is Fran, and I'm working for Each Person, and I'm working as the lead designer. That's me.
Thanks, Fran. This podcast is hopefully going to be the first of many more, touching on topics including HR, mental well-being, and rewards and recognition within the workplace. But today we're going to be discussing the importance of LGBTQ allyship at work. Many of you might know that last month was Pride Month, but we want to continue the celebration and discussion throughout the year. So let's just jump right in. My first question for us both would be the impact of each person's culture and way of working. How has that impacted us as members of the LGBTQ community?
Obviously, I can see the environment there is very open-minded. So everyone is getting on with their own job. And it seems like the sexuality is not a condition there for anyone there because everyone really there is open-minded. I have to be honest, I've been always open since day one when I came to the company. So it seems like I am myself there, you know? And you, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, I've always sort of been quite quiet about my sexuality just because I've always been quite worried about speaking about it and people's reaction, but I didn't really have that at Each Person. I didn't feel like I needed to hide it, but also I equally don't feel like I need to talk about it because I just know that everyone is welcoming with it.
We shouldn't be worried, or we shouldn't, the need to say what is your sexuality. If someone has got a problem, it's their problem, it's not our, So it's no need for us to go and see, I'm straight or I'm gay or, it's no need. I never seen a straight man coming to me saying, I am straight. So why do I have to say the same thing? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And how do you feel working as an LGBTQ member? Do you feel like you need special treatment? Do you feel like people treat you differently? What has your experiences been?
I don't think I need, to have a special treatment because I haven't got no problem as being open, and I always has been myself, and I'm happy with myself. I don't need to, to treat differently,
Yeah.
I can do exactly the same like anyone. So I don't think if someone needs a special treatment will be those persons that they don't really accept me as I am.
And I think as well, like although it's really important to acknowledge that someone is gay or queer or however they want to label themselves, I think it's really important to acknowledge that because they have probably gone through hardship that you may not have. But I think acknowledging that and treating someone differently are two very separate things.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Yeah. And I think I'm quite privileged in the fact I've never had a problem with that.
Obviously, I've had in the past, I have to be honest, I have in the past that I could have someone a little bit not comfortable the way that I express myself or the way I communicate with them. So yes, this is the truth. There will be certain places where you could see someone that is not quite comfortable. But as I said, I try to be myself. And if you don't like it, don't approach to me, or I don't know.
Yeah, even if, because I know I'll always come across people that don't necessarily agree with how I live my life. But I think if that person is respectful and goes about their way of life without interrupting mine and vice versa, I think that's fine. You'll always come across people that are anti-gay, and I don't agree with that. But is in the workplace, if I can get along with someone and just do my job and be civil, I think that's important. Do you think having allies at work is that part of your day-to-day life? Do you think that they're important?
I don't need them really. I've got a really strong personality, and I'm upfront with everything. that I need to say or I need to do. I could be diplomatic. Sometimes you need to be diplomatic, but because I'm very strong character, I don't need someone, to look after me. If I need to say someone, I can say them up front, but there's no, everyone is like that. I have to be honest,
Yeah, I think as well, if there's someone, for instance, if there's someone who's just very recently come out, or they're quite shy about the fact that they're part of the community, it's really important for them to have allies at work, because they might not necessarily be able to vocalize how they feel, and that could really impact their mental well-being. And I think as well, then it would then impact how they work and their ability to work. That if they're being harassed at work and they don't know how to help that or get out of that, it's really important for them to have an ally at work. Even if that ally isn't even their friend, maybe it's just someone that's seeing this bullying happening, they can then back them up and sort of help them out of the really nasty situation.
I completely agree. In those situations, yes, to have someone there, to support you in those moments, that because you just come out, and you are not quite, you don't know how this is work or how it works. So maybe obviously for those new people that just come out, maybe they need that support in a way,
And how do you think people can be allies?
Is to put an example of that. Like someone from work, that it should be educated to recognize and to make sure that if someone, for example, now, someone comes new to the company, and if someone is already prepared, to make them feel comfortable, support them in a way that without being like this person needs a special treatment. Do you know what I mean? Because they cannot be like that. It should come naturally, It should make them feel comfortable. Okay, he's gay or she's lesbian. I don't need to do anything. I need to treat it exactly the same as other people.
Exactly.
If I was making really an effort or something, it's because they feel like I need the special treatment. And I don't need that, because I'm exactly like anyone.
I think going back to when we were talking about allyship playing in day-to-day work life, I think it is important though for people to, although not to treat them differently, to be prepared to stick up for them if they need it. If someone is bullying them, be prepared to stand up for them. And I think to do that, to be able to stand up for someone, you have to educate yourself.
I think this type of education should be done really when you are at school, and make them feel like there's no difference from anyone,
Most people have absolutely no idea about these issues because it doesn't come into their life. And if they spoke about it at school, then I think we would have a lot less discrimination against this.
And it will be easier for everyone.
Yeah.
At work, at school, at the university. If from the beginning they have been educated, things will be so easy, for everyone.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Exactly. And I think these things are changing. And I think hopefully we'll start to see even bigger changes within the workplace. I think it's really important to work in an open environment and a welcoming environment that makes you feel like you can achieve the best. Because at the end of the day, that's what you want your employees to do. You want them to achieve the best, which is why you would create a welcoming environment for anyone and everyone.
Exactly. If everyone is happy, your work will be even much better,
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you're comfortable in your work environment, everyone around you are happy with you, you are happy with them, the quality of your work will be very good.
Yeah. My final question would be, do you think it is important to have allies and to be working for a company that is open and accepting?
I think it is important to have allies for as I said, for those people that they just come out or they don't understand very well the reaction of the other in the in those type of company that are not very open-minded. So obviously in those cases they need, it's a need to have allies there,
Do you think more needs to be done to help?
As I said, maybe if they start, educating since we are at school, that could be a good option, to do a big change, and to make it like it's part of our life. And it will become something natural, like you don't even have to think you don't need to treat anyone differently, because at the end of the day, we are all the same.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there, Fran.
Yeah.
So that's all the questions I have. I think it's been lovely talking to you about this.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can understand my English, but try my best today.
No, I can. So yeah, thank you for talking with me, Fran. And thank you to everyone who's also listened into our podcast. And tune in next month when we will talk to you some more about HR and mental well-being. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.